All right, I am here at Oracle's NetSuite, SuiteWorld 2025 with Sam Levy.
Yeah.
Okay. SVP of Growth and Execution at Oracle NetSuite. Got a few questions for you. So, SuiteWorld always brings exciting updates. For those who couldn't attend, what's the key message Oracle NetSuite wants small and mid-sized business owners to take away this year?
From SuiteWorld. Well, SuiteWorld's our annual user conference, and what's more exciting, this is, I think, our 12th or 13th year doing SuiteWorld as a conference where we bring all of our customers together and talk about strategies of where we're going. Our theme this year is no limits, and it's really been practiced into no limits is scaling your business. And whether you're a small or medium-sized business, scaling growth can be hard. And so the things that we are talking about and the themes we're talking about is no limits is how do companies scale? What's the current trends of scaling? How is technology enabler? And now this exponential multiplier, what we call AI, how is AI going to help me scale, or how should I be consuming AI in our business?
Perfect. So NetSuite has long served growing companies. How would you describe its current vision for SMB companies compared to 5 years ago?
Well, the vision has much been the same for us, for NetSuite, since 27 years ago when Evan started the company, and really being a revolutionary company that was cloud first. So we only service cloud, we only deliver in the cloud, and that was from the born on date 27 years ago through today. And so part of what our transformation strategy of helping small and medium businesses is to transform their business. One, to do that digital experience of how do you take and do that digital transformation. Digital transformation is not just moving your books from on-prem to the cloud. That is kind of just a functional shift and lift of technology. Processes have to evolve in that. And so there's a maturation that occurs. And our biggest strength is, one, we go to business and go to market by industry. So we understand your industry, what it takes to operate your industry. And so whether you're a healthcare company, whether you're a manufacturer or you're a retailer, there's a different set of automation and industry metrics that you need to solve your business issues. And we come to small businesses and help them mature that. So when we talk about digital transformation, the first thing is looking at is how do we help businesses just get control of their current environment, look at their processes, and then unify them. Because we're a suite for each industry, we offer all the components to run your business. And it's really nice from a small or mid-sized business that they really want to act like a big company, but they want the processes and the scaling of the entry points to be for the small and medium-sized companies. Exactly what we do. Provide them that level of industry comfort and then let them scale.
Perfect. So for many small businesses that see ERP or enterprise resource planning, they kind of view it as enterprise software. I mean, it's kind of in the name. And it's kind of meant for larger, maybe medium-sized businesses. How is NetSuite breaking down that perception to make ERP accessible for smaller companies?
Yeah. This is something that we introduced a decade ago with the conversation of SuiteSuccess. And SuiteSuccess essentially is taking an industry playbook and saying, for this industry, here is your stairway. Start with financials first, then add on operations, then add on sales, then add on your supply chain, and add on commerce, whatever it might be for your industry. And what's the nice part about it is how we scale down for businesses that are very simple, but yet they're going to evolve, is we have that stairway approach, making it really fast and simple for them to join NetSuite and then have a growth pattern with capabilities that they never have to leave. Simply is kind of what we look at probably with our iPhones. You get onto the iPhone platform, you buy a few modules and applications, and the outset is you need some more capacity, just turn it on. You need another module, you get another application, and you go with it. Same with business, making it really easy for a business platform to start with financials and then grow the rest of the way.
Perfect. So what are some of the biggest pain points that you see small and medium-sized businesses that are facing they're facing today that NetSuite directly helps to solve?
Most businesses today, and I was just meeting with hundreds of customers this week, have a business need for certain systems and requirements. They have business issues, and whether they need to fill out a timesheet, they don't have a tracking, they need some information for human capital and talent, they can't close the books, they have business issues. And I think one of the things that NetSuite's making it really easy for companies to do is, geez, if you have these ripe issues, how do we help you, transform your business? And that's been the secret sauce for us, I think, is the first part of your question. I think the second part was, how are we transforming? What was the second part of your question?
Um, how are you using, or what's involved with the NetSuite? What does NetSuite have that can kind of really address those pain
Okay.
points?
So the main thing I was talking about is, well, I usually say business issues that arise from small businesses. They want to grow quickly, or they want to manage cost. And most small businesses have to chew gum and walk at the same time, meaning both. They have to grow, but they don't have a bunch of people that they can add into their business. So they need some automation or platform to help them. Let me give you an example. A company that comes with us with $25 million in revenue, they want to double and get to $50 million in revenue. They need to invest in their product and R&D, but they don't want to add in a bunch of accounting and operational staff. They come to NetSuite because they can automate their business and grow without adding additional headcount to support their business system. They're adding the investments where it truly is going to make them grow. So that's one of the offsets that we see, is just basic automation and operational improvement helps them get control of their operational cost.
Okay, that seems like it'll be very helpful for small businesses who need to get, as you said, control over their finances
Right.
and whatnot. Um, can you share a recent example or a customer story where a small business significantly improved operations or profitability using NetSuite?
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about some of the companies that were on stage even this week. We did some keynote addresses. One that comes to mind is a company called Symbiotica. Now, Symbiotica is a wellness company. They're well known for taking supplements and wellness, liposomals, I should say. It's not supplements, but it's liposomal. And those are good for your body. And so one of their challenges is, as they were growing from a $50 million company to a $100 million company and launching their brands, is the complexity with them. Now, their organization adopted NetSuite and they went live with NetSuite. And what's interesting about their operations is their operation headcount has roughly stayed flat through their growth patterns. They've added a few employees, but as they doubled their revenue, they did not double their employees. I think that's a true testament, I think a case study of, how do you look at leaders in your industry and what are they doing that perhaps we should be considering doing? Or how do they do it? What is their secret sauce? So how do you double revenue without adding double staff? And so for them, they were using automation to do that. They were doing the things that once took a team of people can now be done by an individual. An individual now, instead of owning one account, can manage 10 times the number of accounts. And so that became their offsetting maneuver. That was a great story that Kimberly talks about on their growth strategy.
Oh, that's perfect. All right, switching over to AI and automation, which has been basically most of like what's been talked about this week. AI has been a huge theme this year. How is NetSuite's approach to AI helping small businesses compete on the same level as the big boys?
The big boys. This is interesting. AI is in it's in every conversation, it seems like, in business today. How we are helping companies is twofold. One, we are unique that every one of our customers is on the same version, the same release, and ultimately the same data model.
Mm-hmm.
So 43,000 organizations all use the software the same, from our biggest to the smallest. AI, we believe that the best AI comes from the best data. So having all of your data in one place, there's two approaches: outside in versus inside out. The outside in approach is, let me take a Claude or a large language model like ChatGPT or Claude and use it against my current NetSuite account. So how do I unlock all of my data in my current infrastructure and tie it into a large language model? And that's what we've done. We announced Model Context Protocol, MCP, which is a connector. It's free for all of our customers to connect their NetSuite data to Claude or to ChatGPT. Now you can go in there and simply ask prompts inside of Claude, which is, who are my top 5 customers? What is my inventory levels? What's my financial statements? There's conversational AI that's an outside view in.
Mhm.
That's our first approach to AI being outside in. It's been really successful in taking an enterprise product like that and really making it simple for small and medium businesses. The inside out approach is doing the opposite, building AI with inside of NetSuite and solely for just NetSuite data is you can go into NetSuite now and use certain AI capabilities inside your application. So you can use either or and or both ways to do it. There's a lot of things that we use and we've released now for years of continuing to add on to AI capabilities from the inside out. The outside in approach has been good because sometimes you want NetSuite data connected to other systems. And Model Context Protocol allows then chat to not just interface with NetSuite data, but also maybe another system that you have out there. Maybe it's a commerce system or maybe it's Salesforce data you can then pull in together through MCP.
Great. Are you partnering with any outside LLMs to kind of, or are you building from scratch your own LLM or AI protocols within your own system?
We definitely partner because those best of breed applications are certainly market leaders. When you think about Chat, GPT, and what they've done, you think about what Google has done, you think about what Meta has done, you think about XAI, they're big in R&D and billions of dollars just in these large language models. We first started with Cohere 2 or 3 years ago as our first large language model, and then we've adopted all the others as sub processors within inside of our environment. So we're definitely leveraging all of them.
Perfect. What are some practical ways SMBs can use NetSuite's new AI capabilities to save time or make smarter decisions without needing a data science team?
Well, the new interface, and I don't know if you use Chat GPT, hopefully you probably do to summarize notes and so forth, or you've used Claude. I think that the most interesting piece of it is it's taking what used to be a technical way to get your answers, and it's really making it simple into context, a simple language context. So before, if you wanted to go ask a question, which is summarize my financial statements and show me year-on-year compares and show me FTEs that I had, you might have to go run data from multiple systems or multiple NetSuite reports and searches to do that. You'd have to write the research or report and then pull it all together. So very feasible, and that's what customers have done for years. Very linear though. One report, one answer, one report, one answer, and then pulling it all together. The nice part about taking chat is I just ask the question inside chat GPT or I ask it inside of Claude. Show me the same data, pull my financial statements, do the year-end compares, do the FTEs, change my visualization, show it to me in a chart, make it beautiful, hit enter. It goes and runs the searches, runs the reports inside the data, shows you where it's got its data, and then it presents it back to you in a matter of minutes now, but perhaps was days before. And that's a simple way, I think, that the most people are getting the biggest value is they're taking a non-technical approach just to asking the conversational questions.
All right, perfect. That seems very useful. Hopefully, it'll save small business owners a bunch of time and effort.
And give them the visibility to their business, right? Most
Oh,
important.
yeah. Switching over to industry and growth trends, from your perspective, what are the next biggest trends shaping the future of small and mid-sized businesses over the next 2 to 3 years?
Well, I think everyone is being asked that the biggest trend is how can I grow, but yet control my operational cost? And we're seeing that with these, the invention of the AI business models out there where, we call it the multiplier effect with AI. And I think the biggest trend out now is how can AI give me a advantage, a competitive advantage going forward? One, I got to simplify my back office processes, make it really simple to do business from the back office. I mean, how do I enter an order? How do I collect cash? How do I create a procurement transaction, receive it, and so on? So making that really simple is number one.
Mm-hmm.
But then how you take that simplified process and make that a competitive advantage externally. So when a customer comes and does business with you, they don't find it it may take them too long to get their product or their service, making it very easy to do business with them. And that's been the growth lever is we're trying to simplify things because transactions are happening faster and faster.
Hmm.
But we're simplifying the complexity of the transaction, which has been the big theme today.
Hmm.
Not a lot of complexity. simplify it, but just more transactions.
Hmm. More transactions, more money.
Well, that's good. It should be the simple linear equation on that one. Yeah.
Are there specific industries like manufacturing, retail, or services where you're seeing especially strong SMB adoption or innovation through NetSuite?
This is it's a good leading question of which industry is hot and which one's not. They all seem to have challenges going on in their business and headwinds, whether that's macroeconomic or it's industry pressure. Some product and inventory based companies had tariff issues. And so that helped create a big headwind for them. How they reacted to it, though, I think are a little bit differently. And so I look at some of these industries are breakthrough, meaning inventory ones that had to deal with tariffs, they were forced to use better planning and budgeting tools to get the right SKU assortments
Hmm.
and so on. The people that were in healthcare on the other side of it, finding more avenues to service their customers. And so they wanted to automate billing to their insurance carriers. So they needed help on automating. For them to grow, their issue wasn't buying more product, it was making billing to their insurance carriers more easily and more streamlined without people. And so we're seeing it kind of all industries are growing. And some I wouldn't say contracting. High tech has been a good one because of AI, and you're a high tech company creating AI. So a lot of sourcing, capital going into AI companies. But I think that money is being used now across all the other industry segments.
All right. Flipping that a little bit, are you seeing any kind of industries that it's a little difficult for you for NetSuite in general to kind of break into
Okay,
for the small
for
businesses?
small business. Well, one of the things that we generally say is if you're in a regulated industry, and that can be more difficult for NetSuite.
Hmm.
Government or municipalities have a lot of restrictions. Some health and biotech have a lot of restrictions. Some government contracting and DoD have a lot of restrictions. And there are restrictions to how their compliance works with their data and how it works with the government entities and businesses that they solve. So for our commercial business, we tend to not go after heavily regulated industries. There's
Hmm.
compliance, but heavily regulated industries, when you look at public sector or financial institutions that have different type of governance, we generally stay away from those. It's not our bailiwick, right? We
Yeah.
stay to the ones that are commercially available that we are really good with.
All right, that's good to know. Many small businesses are moving from QuickBooks or spreadsheets to cloud platforms. What triggers this transition, and how is NetSuite supporting them in that journey?
One of the most popular systems that we replace on the entry level market is QuickBooks. And it's just entry level anymore. We find that it's not just entry level, there are medium sized businesses that are running QuickBooks, but they've certainly outgrown it, mostly for the capabilities. The number one reason they usually come to us is they can't do something or it's too bespoke.
Mhm.
So if they're growing internationally, they have too many databases to manage and they want to put it in one infrastructure and have one global process.
Hmm.
Very hard to do with QuickBooks. So that's an interesting one. If they have advanced inventory items where they're putting in multiple warehouses and demand planning and point of sale and distribution, QuickBooks is for very simple companies. Once you add a lot of complexity to it or start to customize it, you really outgrown it. And that's where NetSuite picks up and really excels. The complex small business.
All right. If you if you had one piece of advice for a small business owner looking to future-proof their operations, what would it be?
Wow, hire the right people. I mean, people and human capital, and certainly in small business, is critical. And some of the traits you say, well, that's fine. Well, what type of competencies would you look for? So the entrepreneur spirit, challenge the status quo, and you've got to make some big bets. And if you're not making the bets around using AI in your companies, I tell founders all the time, I think you'll be leapfrogged by a founder who is using AI to get that competitive advantage.
All right. Final question. What's next for NetSuite when it comes to serving the small business market? Any areas of investment or innovation where you're especially excited about?
Well, we announced it this week, NetSuite Next. It is our next generation of how we're evolving our AI strategy and just making it available everywhere in the applications from the inside out.
Mhm.
What we're building and what we're releasing for all of our customers and new customers is the kind of Ask Oracle concept. It's AI ready everywhere at any time. And it's the conversational piece of it. You don't have to go learn a menu structure and navigation, the how-tos. Our firm belief is the way that you interact in the future is going to be conversations like we're having now.
Mhm.
That's how you're going to be interacting with your business system. Very much conversational, not menu driven, searching for data. You're going to be asking and prompting versus clicking and pointing. And so that is right. The big excitement that we have is we're doing it, we're prototyping it now, and we're slowly releasing it to the masses. This time next year, it'll be fully available, and it'll be so exciting to see so many customers on it.
That will be exciting, and I'm interested in trying it out.
Yeah,
Having a nice digital assistant.
yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for coming on and putting up with all my questions.
Great. Good to meet you, Leland.